hidden secret of God's armor. The lost code of spiritual warfare. There are things in the Bible that were not written for ordinary eyes, mysteries hidden between the lines, secrets that centuries tried to erase. But there is a spiritual code that has survived, the armor of God. It is not a metaphor, it is not poetry. It is a manual of spiritual warfare, designed to protect the soul against invisible but real forces. Have you ever stopped to think that the greatest battle we face is not physical? It is not political, social, or economic. It is an invisible war, fought inside each of us. The mind is the battlefield, the emotions are the trenches, and the heart is the ultimate prize. Every doubt, every fear, every internal accusation is an invisible arrow, sent by the enemy to pull you away from God. Few believe this. Even fewer are prepared. That is why 95% of Christians fight without the full armor, even while praying and attending church every day. But those who understand the secret become untouchable. Today you will discover each piece of this armor and understand why most fall, even while believing. It all begins with the belt of truth. But this is not just about speaking the truth. The belt represents living in truth, aligning your heart, mind, and actions with God's purpose. The belt supports the entire armor. Without it, everything falls apart. Imagine a Roman soldier without a belt. His chest plate collapses, his sword falls, his sandals loosen. Faith without truth is fragile, disorganized, vulnerable. We live surrounded by lies, appearances, falsehoods, deceptions, from the media to the whispers in our own minds. But truth is a spiritual frequency that connects us to the divine. It cuts the chains of deception. Every time you choose to live aligned with God's truth, every act of honesty and faith, you strengthen the invisible belt that protects your soul. The next component is the breastplate of righteousness. The human heart is the enemy's favorite target. Human justice fails, but divine justice protects and strengthens the heart. It prevents guilt, anger, envy, or sin from penetrating. Biblical stories make this clear. David, though pursued, kept his heart protected by righteousness. Joseph, sold by his brothers, remained firm because his spiritual justice shielded him. Choosing righteousness is not always easy. Doing what is right, even when no one is watching, even when the world seems unjust, is the essence of the breastplate. Forgiving, acting with integrity, resisting temptation, this strengthens the protection. Every time someone chooses the path of truth and goodness, even in pain, the breastplate grows stronger. The shoes of the gospel of peace symbolize movement, purpose, and spiritual advancement. A soldier who does not move does not win. Those who carry peace bring light to places of darkness. But here is the secret. Peace is not the absence of conflict. It is serenity within chaos. Imagine walking through a battlefield while the enemy tries to surround you. The shoes of peace keep you steady. Where there is peace, evil loses ground. And when you walk with that peace, God walks with you, opening invisible paths and protecting your steps. The shield of faith is the defense that extinguishes all the flaming arrows of the enemy. Every doubt, fear, and negative word is a spiritual arrow. Faith is not waiting passively for miracles. It is fighting as if victory is already assured. Imagine these arrows falling upon you but being extinguished instantly by an invisible barrier. The more you use faith, the stronger the shield becomes. The enemy can try, but it cannot penetrate. Faith is silent, invisible, yet powerful. The helmet of salvation protects the mind. The deadliest battlefield is internal. This is where the enemy whispers, "You are not worthy. God has forgotten you. There is no hope." The helmet keeps your consciousness aligned with spiritual truth. It reminds you that you are saved, loved, and chosen. It blocks negative thoughts, doubts, and invisible psychological attacks. A protected mind is a throne of victory, and a well-placed helmet ensures the soul remains uncorrupted. The sword of the Spirit is the only offensive weapon. It is the Word of God, alive and indestructible. It was with it that Jesus overcame temptation in the desert. It is written. 3 words that became spiritual blades, cutting chains that try to imprison your life. Every verse read, every word spoken with faith, is a blade that cuts through darkness, liberating the soul. He who masters the word masters the war. But there is something deeper. Each piece of the armor, does not work alone. They complement each other. The belt of truth strengthens the breastplate of righteousness. Faith protects the helmet. The sword of the Spirit activates the shield. It is a complete, living system that transforms any Christian into a fully armed spiritual warrior. Think of the stories of Joseph in Egypt, David facing Goliath, Daniel in the lion's den. Each used consciously or unconsciously elements of this armor. They were not defeated, even surrounded by enemies, because each piece was active and functioning. Today, you too can activate this armor in your life. Many fail because they ignore small parts: a belt undone, a weakened breastplate, shaken faith, and vulnerability appears. But you can rebuild piece by piece. Meditate on truth, practice righteousness, walk in peace, strengthen your faith, protect your mind with salvation, and use the Word of God as your weapon. Spiritual warfare does not end while we breathe, but those who wear the full armor remain firm. They walk through life without fear, even in the darkest shadows. They are untouchable, not through arrogance, but through alignment with God. The greatest victory is not defeating visible enemies, but conquering oneself, resisting doubt, spiritual laziness, and temptation. Every act of faith strengthens the armor. Every prayer activates invisible protection. Every word of truth is a blade against darkness. If you truly desire to fight and win, put on the full armor of God, the belt of truth, breastplate of righteousness, shoes of the gospel of peace, shield of faith, helmet of salvation, and sword of the Spirit. Leave no piece behind. Spiritual warfare is real. The enemy does not sleep, but God never loses. Those who understand and wear the armor walk safely, protected, and invincible. Holy Enigma reveals what many ignore. Now the choice is yours. Fight without armor, or wear it completely and become a true spiritual warrior, capable of facing the invisible and triumphing.